The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Freeman. Thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming and, in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. It's about achievements. We'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 145. You can also contact us with questions or comments on Twitter at Z2ZZEDTOZED, or at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Well, we've got 6 episodes left. You're listening to the 6th in the chain before we finish this thing up at 150. And, of course, I'm joined with Proulx. How are you doing this evening, Proulx?
I am doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It is great. And in our cavalcade of rotating guests, we have brought along FufuCuddilyPoof. How are you doing, Kenny?
I'm doing wonderful. This is awesome to be here.
Good.
Been listening to you guys for so long. It's great to finally get on the podcast.
Yeah, it's you've been a well-established member of the community for quite some time. And so it's been fun to bring some other people back on the show. We've got other guests lined up down the road here. Pretty much a full schedule to go on to the end. And so it's great to have you. I want to start the show by saying that I have finally given out prizes for May, June, July, August, and September. I dropped a ton of coin, and so if it's all your guys' money, right? It was all Patreon money. So thank you so much for all your support over the years. And if you have not been to our forums recently, I would go check, because you may have a private message. Well, I'll tell you who should look. Here's a list of winners: Tominator, Kingsman, Homer, Beelzebug, X-Towers, Walkapeel, Mark B, Toadstyle Venom, Koosh Moose, Fresh 336, that guy, Rune Lord, NBA Kirkland, Enigma Gamer 77, and Ninja Star. I know Ninja Star got his because he got a $20 code. He won 2 of the contests. So if I just said your name, you guys got a PM and a code. So get in there, redeem it, and enjoy. Thank you for participating and having some fun. There's still a good chunk of change left, so I will continue doing the contests and prizes. Certainly through the end of the year. I'm on the fence if I want to keep doing the community challenge. I'm definitely going to do the gamertag challenge, because that is like one of my favorites after the random to-do list. So we've still got all that fun stuff. So if you haven't been over to our forums, forum.z2z.com, that's the place to get in on that action. Even when the show ends, there'll still be activity. So don't forget to head over there. Okay. So, this is a gaming show, a gaming podcast. We do talk about video games, and we do have a guest. So we should just hear a little bit about Mr. CuddilyPoof, because it's so fun to say his name. Why don't you regale us with a little, because you have not been on the show before. You just listened. So, do you have a little backstory? Do you have any fun, news nuggets? What have you been up to? How's life?
Well, life's been pretty good. It's been crazy busy.
Yeah, you got a lot going on these days.
Yeah, I mean, a year ago, I got married, November 11th, so my 1 year's coming up.
Ooh, are you doing anything special?
Sort of.
So 1 year is paper, right?
What do you mean by paper?
So, like, there's, the traditional gifts each year. So if you adhere to that calendar idea, so I think your 1 year's paper, your 2 year is like wood, like gold is like your 50th anniversary or something. Anyway, there's a list.
I know what
you're talking about. Do you give like a paper present?
Something that's paper. So you know what I did for my 1 year anniversary? I gave my wife a plane ticket, which was paper, and we went on a trip. Okay. Right, so that it's kind of or you could just go simpler and do a card or something. But
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I know
kind
of
fun. You gotta get creative.
I think 25 is silver, 50 is gold, and 75, if you can make it to that, is platinum.
I think that should be like granite or marble. You guys just get headstones together.
Jeez. Whoa, that just took a dark turn. Okay, then.
No, there's like stuff for every year. Like one of them is tin, one of them is copper, one of them is like flowers, one is, and there's two different sides. There's the traditional gifts, and then there's the modern gifts. I think the modern gifts include stuff like, at 4 years you should consider a small appliance, and it's like, pff, my wife would divorce me if I gave her a blender. Like that would just be obscene. There's a whole list somewhere on Google's your friend. They'll tell you.
I do remember hearing about that. I mean, we're kind of doing something special. I mean, we're going to Ohio, mostly to visit friends, but we're making it a extended vacation.
Well, that's fun. Here you go. Anniversary gifts by year. You ready? 1 is paper. 2, where the hell did this go? There it is. 2 is cotton. 3 is leather. 4 is fruits and flowers.
So far. I'm just saying.
Or linen and silk. 5 is wood. 6 is iron or candy. 7th is wool or copper. 9 is, what happened to 8? 8's not on here. That's weird. 9 is pottery.
That's not important.
10 is tin or aluminum. 11 is steel. Oh, my wife is getting a spoon this year. Steel. No, wait. I just passed my 12-year. Silk. I did not get her anything silk this year. 13 is lace. Aha, yeah, now we're talking.
There you go.
14, if you make it to 14, you can go butcher an elephant and get ivory. So, there's that.
We're going to a safari on that.
I feel like that should change. That we need to update this list. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Most of us who listen to this show likely are not married beyond that many years, although we do have some elderly gamers. Elderly.
Some of us aren't even married at all, Fream.
Yeah, there's that too. There's still time. Sorry, Kenny. Go ahead. Continue. So you got married. Congratulations. You got your 1 year coming up. That's awesome.
Oh, yes. I was actually hoping whatever that 1 year was, it was actually something cheap because, got a house, and at this point, I ain't got no money.
Nope, there's nothing.
There's nothing. She got me.
Nothing.
That's what she gets.
You could do a paper's a card, right? You just simply could even just do a nice card if you wanted to follow a traditional gift.
Yeah, no.
Or like a paper airplane, apparently.
Or a macaroni picture frame.
Wait, no, macaroni's not until year 22, Fream, so maybe you should slow your roll a little bit here.
Well, she'll be really excited on her 22nd anniversary then.
Awesome. What about so marriage life has been keeping you busy. Anything else keeping you busy?
Yeah, work and some. You guys have heard about my brother. We don't need to go into that, but that work, and yeah, just being married, working on the house and whatnot. Just been busy overall. Trying to get. I'm giving you a huge opportunity to
pimp your own show. Feel free to do that too, because I'm sure that's keeping you busy.
Well, I didn't want to, just kind of throw it out there.
Hey, my show's ending. You guys can do whatever the hell you want.
But yes, the one thing that you're alluding to is myself and a couple of the other community members, Big L, Matriarch, Rocker Dude 5012, Elroy OMJ, and we've all started a podcast, another achievement hunting podcast. The Achievement Hunting 101 podcast is the title. Mm-hmm. And very similar to this. You guys kind of inspired us. We've all been brought together through Z to Z, and seeing you guys in, it's really sad.
Yeah.
The last 2.5, 3 years, you kind of changed my gaming. I kind of went from, casual that's kind of had somewhat of an interest into achievements, and now it's just like, oh yeah, I like achievements, but I still play the casual games.
Sure. And I was listening to the show. I'm behind on my podcast, but you finally joined the ranks of the 100Kers.
Oh,
there is that, right?
That
that takes you past the level of casual.
Oh, without a doubt. I think. What's the average on TA? I want to say 30,000 So I mean, anyone
something like that
in the top 100K, I believe, is in the top 65 percentile or something like that. I might be saying that wrong. I forget the numbers. It's been a while since I've heard them. But yeah, 100K. Woohoo! 6 numbers.
Congratulations.
That's fun.
Thank you.
That's always fun to do.
And
awesome.
I actually hit it right on the nose with a very appropriate achievement from the game F1 2014. It's about time.
Nice.
There you go. What? So, in terms of gaming, what else? What else have you been up to this last week? Anything fun? I know you just recorded a show the other night, so it's probably on there too. But anything stand out to you that was entertaining?
Well,
to talk about
the big game that I've not only been playing but have absolutely been addicted to is Forza Horizon 4. Have you guys played that?
I have not. I'm not much of a racing guy, but it looks quite nice.
See, I'm not a racing fan at all. The last racing game that I can remember playing, like actual racing, not kart racing, was Need for Speed Underground 2 on the GameCube. Like, I'm just not a racing fan. I just don't like the genre. And this game has sucked me in. It's fantastic. Like, that's even great. If you're not a fan of racing, I highly recommend it. And honestly, the only reason why I played it is because it's on Game Pass. If it wasn't on there, there's no way I would have spent $60 on it. Now, when other games like Red Dead and then Spyro is coming out, I'd much rather save money for that.
For sure.
But now Forza, oh man, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Do you love it so much that it's going to inspire you to go back and play all the old Forzas now?
If they come to Game Pass, I might. At least the Horizon series. I know Motorsport is more what's the
sim.
Yeah,
it's more of a sim racer.
Yeah,
closed track too.
Yes. So I don't know if I play Motorsport since it is very different from Horizon. At least from what I understand, it's very different. But yeah, I might play the older Horizons if they are on Game Pass.
Well, there were a couple of them were games with gold too, right?
Yeah.
Or at least one, maybe, if memory serves.
Forza Horizon 2, yeah, Forza Horizon 2 was, and it just got delisted a whole bunch of achievements.
Oh no!
Well, because all the licensed music and stuff, they always have issues with that. So it's not to say that all of the achievements will be affected, but I think there's some discontinues on there. Maybe there's not, and it's just the delisting, so you can't get it anymore. But
that is
story
one thing
on TA.
That is one nice thing about Horizon 4 that I enjoy. Is, as most of you know, I'm the metalhead in the community. I don't like the pop music and whatnot. And a lot of games that is the majority of the music, they actually have a pretty good rock station on it.
Oh, yeah?
Of like hard rock on it. I actually enjoy it. It's not bad to listen to. Because I kind of figured out, turn the radio off, put on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, and
for sure.
And you guys have an Xbox One X, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see, I don't. I have the OG VCR, and the game looks fantastic on that.
Still, huh?
The game looks fantastic. I mean, I have the 4K TV, but I have old hardware, and it still looks so good. I can only imagine what this thing looks on a One X. I mean, I've seen pictures on Twitter and whatnot, and there's a couple of screenshots. I don't know if it's real or not. The game is pretty.
Yeah, they racing games typically can push the graphics envelope,
and they have done it on this.
Cool. How you doing on the achievement front? Are they Fast and Furious? Well, boy,
we see what you did there, Fream.
That was a total accident. Are they fast like Fast and the Furious version? Because those came real quick. I know typically getting all the cars takes some time. Yeah,
there are a couple of the achievements that are a little bit more difficult to get, like 3-star a bunch of the challenges and stuff like that. A couple of, skill-based ones.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I've gotten a good bit of achievements. I think I've gotten 10-ish achievements so far. I haven't put in a ton of time into it, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of them that you can get off right off the back. I mean, finish a race, buy a car.
Yeah. Is it a nice steady pace that you're getting?
Yeah, so far
that's good.
It's 1 or 2 achievements each time I play.
That's good.
Yeah, that's always nice when you get a nice flow.
Yeah, I mean, TA says I've been playing for 5 hours and I've gotten 6 achievements so far. So that's
not too bad.
That's not too bad.
So that's been your whole week? What else have you been up to?
I've been playing that. Dailies on Gems of War. I don't know if you guys have started that. But
nope.
Gosh, no.
See,
that sounds terrible.
So what?
That sounds terrible. There's no way.
Oh. I don't know maybe if I just hate myself or what. But I always like to have one like super grindy game going at a time for whatever reason. First it was Clicker Heroes. Completed that. I can't wait for the second one.
I know. I don't think they've even announced it yet, though, for consoles at all, have they?
Not that I know of. Last time I've seen anything about it, they were working on some bugs and trying to add more features to it before it gets released.
Yeah, I think it's on early access or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's
like
not
Steam early access or Steam
I don't even think it's.
I
guess technically, I don't think that's the case either because it's. It may be on Steam, but it was a browser game originally. I can't remember how they're delivering the second one, but I know it hasn't been officially announced that it's coming to consoles yet.
Okay.
Where it's expecting to, of course, but it just hasn't been officially revealed yet.
Yeah, they're going to put it on everything. I'm sure. I'm sure they've made a stupid amount of money on the console.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like played Clicker Heroes, completed that, then played Fallout Shelter, completed that. Early September, and now I've picked up Gems of War. And if you guys don't know what it is, it's basically like Bejeweled, but they have like a battle mode in it in Bejeweled, which is fun. It's also a nice game. You kind of sit down for 5-10 minutes, play for a little bit, then go do whatever, play while watching a show.
So, like, have you ever played Puzzle Quest?
I don't believe I have.
It sounds like Puzzle Quest, but I don't know. So
I think there's more significant combat mechanics.
Okay.
I mean, we're not talking like nothing that significant, but
no.
So if we're comparing those games that you just mentioned, right? So Fallout, I would assume, based on what I've heard, because I've never played Gems of War, but Fallout would be on the bottom in terms of investment, time, and energy that you're putting into the game. Is Gems of War at the top and Clicker Heroes in the middle with Fallout at the bottom, or how would you say?
Gems of War is by far at the top, like easy number one, because it's hundreds of hours of gameplay, and unlike Clicker Heroes, you have to be active in it. Like you have to sit there and play it the whole time. Clicker Heroes. I guess Clicker Heroes and Fallout Shelter is kind of on the same bar, because at least Clicker Heroes you can idle it, whereas Fallout Shelter is technically the quickest completion, but you also do have to play it
and cheese it,
which I didn't know about that for the longest time, so I wasted a ton of time on that.
I mean, I liked the game, so I played it legit because it was fun, but then at the end it was like, oh, just kill me now.
I really got to start it. I just got to do it. I have to start it.
Do it.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Anything else you want to touch on, or should we hear what Proulx's been up to?
The only other thing I've really been doing is two kind of series completions I like to try to get is the Halo completion, along with Proulx. We've been doing a bunch of Halo. I've had to stop that for this or that reason. And then I'm also a big Tomb Raider fan. I've played them since, PlayStation 1. And I kind of want to get the series completion in that, so I've been stabbing away at Rise of the Tomb Raider. Going for all the collectibles because there's so many of them.
Is there?
Wait, is Rise the new one, or is that the second one?
Rise is the second one.
Okay.
Right. Shadow is the new one.
Yep.
So you haven't touched that one yet?
Unfortunately not. I haven't had a chance.
Okay, all right. Are you trying to get the Rise done before Shadow then?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And also kind of hoping for a sale on Shadow.
Oh, didn't it? Actually, I think just recently, or this past week, went on sale for like $10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking at Christmas time, you're going to get some big discounts.
Black Friday or something, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's my thought exactly. Yeah, that's about it that I've been doing. I haven't been doing too much outside of those 3.
Fantastic. Proulx, what have you been up to?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm in UHH friendlies. So,
Yep.
But I have
Were you happy with your decision to join up?
Yes, I am. And I'll tell you why. Because I have a pudding.
Oh, yeah?
So I get to cherry pick what I want to play off the list. And I don't feel any pressure. It motivates me to go back to only the good games that I want to go and play.
Yeah.
So it's kind of perfect. A little more motivation probably wouldn't be a terrible thing, but I only have 3 right now, and that's going to be it for me, and that's going to be it for the win. That's kind of perfect. So I've actually kind of split my time between RTDL and UHH.
Sure.
But for UHH, I got to play a game that I know that you enjoy quite a bit, Fream, which was Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
got the stack on that bad boy.
I played it when it was first out on the one, and enjoyed it, but didn't complete it or anything. I had to get all the lucky tickets for this achievement,
right?
So I had to go finish out
that is quite a bit of game.
Yeah, I was very far into. I think it was 70% into it at the time. I just didn't. Because I beat the base game, and I had never gone back and through all the actual the Rayman Origin levels. So that's what I had to do, was just beat all those levels, which was fun. I enjoyed it. Rayman games are good, so
they are.
That was cool. I did a Prince of Persia one, which wasn't anything really exciting to talk about, and a Perfect Dark, the arcade game.
Okay.
And a couple of other random ones. I just have a few things I want to talk about, though, besides those 2 competitions. I've been playing my way through Quantum Break.
Oh,
how is it?
Okay.
It's okay. Now that I'm not doing G-Task, I have some time to do some slower stuff, some backlog stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's pick up something that I normally wouldn't just play. And it's okay. It's maybe close to good even, but it's kind of generic. And the weird TV stuff is weird. It's very strange to go from playing a game to watching when that's not what you want to be doing, especially when the watching bits are 25 minutes long. Like I would have expected it to be more like here's a 5-minute thing or a 10-minute thing here. But no, I mean, you can skip it, which is great, but then it feels like, what's the point of playing this game if you're going to skip it?
Yeah.
Other than that, the gameplay is just generic third-person shooter with timey-wimey controls. And the story is convoluted, timey-wimey story. And it's it just feels like sci-fi movie of the week, sort of.
That sounds up your alley.
Kinda. But very low budget, it feels.
But it's not it's fine. It's time travel stories are always tricky.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
I mean, are you enjoying it?
I'm not enjoying it. It's like I said, it's very close to. I would call it very close to good, and maybe by the end it will be good, depending on how they wrap up the story. I'm interested enough to keep going for sure. But it just feels super generic and safe. Almost is the right word. It is a very pretty game. I will say that.
Sure.
The mocap stuff is really on point. The digital models for all the actors are really good. But again, it's just a weird combination of 2 mediums. And there are times when you go into a room and there's a big computer screen, and on the computer screen is actual video.
Yeah.
And then there are times when you're watching the TV show parts, and you'll see something on a monitor, and it's something your video game character did. And it's like this weird sort of... Your brain has trouble reconciling those 2 halves of the same thing. So it's just a really strange experience, and I don't know that... It doesn't work. I don't think it works. It takes...
There's lots of games that have FMV videos in there, though, too.
Yes, that's very true. But it's different because it's trying to marry the 2 elements so closely together. Like when you're watching an FMV or playing an FMV game,
Yeah.
The story parts are very distinctive, and you're not supposed to have like any sort of effect on those. They're just something that you passively watch. Well, they try to introduce little elements where it feels like you're controlling or influencing the actual motion picture parts of the game. So
Right.
like you'll find a collectible throughout the level. Like so literally in the second level, I found a big cardboard cutout of a T-Rex, I think it was, wearing a cowboy hat. It was some sort of, I think it was supposed to be like a high school mascot.
That is absolutely correct.
Have you played this, Fream?
I completed it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, so you find that, and in the next episode part, they are literally walking through the woods. Two characters are walking through the woods, just chatting. And the scene is so obviously cut into the dialogue and into the scene where the characters stop and look over at a tree and they go, "Is that a T-Rex? I think it is." And then they just continue their conversation like before. So it's obviously inserted in a way to make you feel like, oh, hey, you did something that affected the actual movie parts.
They're pretty silly.
Yeah. So
there's one later on. Toward the end, at the ending levels, that it's just like that's a little more kind of it's less egregious of like, oh geez, you just shoehorned that in there, but it is one of those eye rolling like, oh really.
So what is your opinion of the game? Did you enjoy it? Is the ending good, solid, or like what is your overall impression of that game?
I'm kind of with you. It's fine. It was. I was in it for the minute-to-minute gameplay. Like that's what I really enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed the mechanics and the kind of each individual set piece and those types of things. And so that was kind of what was exciting for me. Not quite as much of the, oh boy, I'm just so riveted by the story. So I went for gameplay and I came out happy with it. I thought the mocap stuff or the FMV stuff, was pretty good. It was better than I anticipated. Story, again, those things were just fine. Super ambitious, probably didn't hit the mark, but I liked it. I had some fun.
Yeah, that's again, there's not anything. I think the biggest problem is the idea of trying to push these two different types of mediums together in a way that doesn't fit naturally. So,
yeah,
I guess ambitious would be a word I would use. That's one way to put it. It's fine, like you said, it's fine. The one thing I will say, I've never played Alan Wake, but the developer wants you to be aware that they are the developers behind Alan Wake, and there is an Alan Wake reference, I think, in every episode.
All the time.
Episode that I've played so far.
That's what I've heard.
Absolutely.
It's like, what the? Like, it's fun. Like, fun little nods to stuff you've done before is cool. If you're, like, so far up your own butt that you have to show it all the time, it's, like, really off-putting. Like, there's books that you stumble across by... And I guess Alan Wake is a writer in the...
he is an author.
Yeah, so, okay, I guess he's a real author. But then I guess
the idea is they're just trying to create the universe, a consistent universe.
Right, but then you come across a woman that's actually playing Alan Wake on her computer.
Yeah.
And now whatever. That's obviously a minor gripe, but it's just there's so much of it. Whatever, it's fine. I'll finish that out and we'll see how it goes. Just two other things I wanted to touch on real quick. I played some more Rocket League this week. I don't really have much to say.
That's always good.
I don't have much to say, just that I had a great time and I love that game. So everybody knows that. I don't need to go into details. I got a couple achievements though that I didn't have yet. So
I think I'm missing. That completed?
Well, the new update. I didn't do the new updates when it first came out. So I think the last ones I have are for the tournament, and I can do it. It's just a pain to set up, so I haven't done it yet.
Well, and that'll get you your recompletion or whatever?
My completion.
Is that going to be the fourth time completing it?
Probably. Yeah, I think third or fourth.
At least.
Sure. So I'll do that at some point. But I've just been playing it and loving it. So, and then lastly, I played a game called Spencer. You heard about this? It's brand new.
No.
I have no idea.
Just came out yesterday.
Okay.
So
I saw some tweets about it. I have no idea what it's about though.
no, it's not great. It's a $6 2-hour completion, very simplistic platformer.
Okay.
It feels like baby's first platformer type of game.
Okay.
Like it feels like this was just maybe a college project
Right.
that was released. It's simplistic. It's very basic. It's very there's no frills.
Okay.
It's fine. It was $6 and it was a 2-hour completion. So that's
not so bad.
That's not terrible. You know, there's no game breaking bugs or anything like that. But since I have been out of GTESC for a while, my points have kind of dried up. So I just wanted a little kick, just
Sure.
a little kick this
Sure,
week.
get something going.
Yeah, and that was my week. What about you, Fream?
Nice. I had quite a busy week. So my wife was in Colombia all week. Bogota, Colombia. Yes, indeed. And she came back. She brought gifts. I'm pretty sure it's Colombian coffee, but it could be
Nice.
drugs. I mean, it was in a freeze-dried, tightly packed bag. And so, again, I haven't opened it. I'm assuming it's coffee grounds. Could be cocaine. But I'm excited she's back.
Good.
But she was gone all week. And so, ultimately, the kids went to bed early, or normal time, but my mother-in-law stayed up just to kind of help out because I work really far from home, and so if I had to bring the kids to school and then get home to pick them up at daycare, I'd be going to work for like 5 hours a day, and I just don't have the time off to do that or anything. And my mother-in-law's retired, and so she stayed up all week and kind of took care of the kids. I mean, she was amazing. I've been eating so much homemade fudge; it is just fantastic. And so, but she's very much doesn't want to get in the way and is just like, hey, this is your house. You can do. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I have my computer. I'm going to be playing video games and I can just stream to my computer. I was like, that's not a problem. But she felt bad. I have my book. I'll just go upstairs and I'll just read. And again, couldn't convince her. But what that meant was early gaming and lots of gaming. And so
Nice.
let me start with the UHH action. I got matched up with Doughboy. And we had, look, it's a relatively easy list, but all of the easy stuff is games I don't want to start.
Again,
so
here we go.
Like BioShock 2 and Dying Light and Dead Rising 3. And, it's just like, oh, those games are so big. I don't want them on my tag right now. Like, when I get into them, I want to be able to focus and do it. The only reason I put those on there is because I know they have a big, high achievement counts, and that was going to boost up my number so that I could, actually participate in the event. But we did have a few, and so I went and played The Division. I had a next one in The Division, so I finished up the tutorial, made it to Manhattan. The world is opening up to me. I'm excited to get into that a little bit more hardcore.
Just in time for Division 2.
Yep. I had a super easy one in Halo 5. I've had 2 super easy ones in Halo 5. One last week and one this week. So I just keep loading up the start of Chapter 1, Section 1. And the first one was to find a piece of intel. There's literally one on that crash site right at the beginning. The second one is to tell your squad to go somewhere.
Nice.
So I came on, I said, over there, and bam, achievement. See ya, I'm out. And then I had one in Battle Block Theater that I could boost, which was super simple.
Which one was it?
100 kills.
Okay.
And so just the second controller, there's the Soul Grabber mission. You can get nearly 50 kills per match, so it takes you 2 matches. It took me 3 because I just didn't quite understand the mechanics at the beginning. We just keep bopping on the guy's head, and again, 2 controllers, no problems at all. Then I went into 60-second shooter prime.
Oh yeah, I
Right?
just did that.
Yeah, twin stick shooter. I've only got 4 achievements left in that, and my achievement was to get 2 million points in Infinity Mode. Of course, Infinity Mode starts you at 60 seconds, and it starts to count down, and you can, as you progress, you can grab time bonuses to continue, but, the game also continues to get more difficult, and bad guys come at you and stuff. You get your bombs, whatnot. Needed 2 million. You got to get all those multipliers to stack up. I only ever made it to 1 million. I'm not good at that game. I failed. I spent way too much time trying to go after that achievement, and I ended disappointed. I was like, man, screw that nonsense.
You can do it, Freem. You can do it. To be fair, getting to 1 million, it's because of how the game works and how those multipliers work. If you're on that track, it's a much bigger chunk of time and effort to get to that 1 million.
Yep.
Than you're kind of right on the right track, and if you just 10 more seconds, you could probably make it to 2 million.
That is exactly what was the most frustrating, is because getting to the 1 million, you looked at it and it was like, man, I was probably 15 seconds away from getting that achievement. If I could have just held, or I used my bomb, or I did something, I made a stupid mistake and got killed. But you got to react so quickly. I mean, it's really hard. The other two UHHs, and again, this is why I love UHH, and I love Rich's algorithm. The next achievement in Bayonetta, so I progressed a little bit more in that. That was fun. And Slime Rancher, just a little bit more progress in Slime Rancher. And so I got those. I'm up 4-0. So you guys can call Doughboy a pudding, but he very much knows of this, and so he probably is waiting till tonight to play. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's focusing on Extra Life. We'll talk to him next week. He is the scheduled guest for next week, I believe. I haven't quite locked it down, but that's what we are leading to. So there was that. Okay, so Monday comes around. And I'm sitting at work, and typically when I start my work day on Monday, I go and I put all my achievements into my spreadsheets, and I chronicle everything that I've done over the weekend, and I plan out my work week and all this kind of, I get the week ready for both work and gaming on Monday morning. And I start up my dailies. I get, quick do my daily check-ins on all the stupid Minesweeper and puzzles and all, just that takes me a half hour, so I quick do that. And I'm sitting there, and I get a text from my boss. And the text says, got into a car accident. I'm okay, but I'm not coming to work today. And I was like, well, if you're not coming to work today, I better play a bunch of Minesweeper and finish the Sunday crosswords.
Nice.
Because her office is right next to mine, and if that door is dark all day, then nobody's coming by to bother me.
What version of Minecraft is it?
Minesweeper, sorry.
Or sorry, Minesweeper.
And so I got a bunch of Minesweeper achievements. I got the Sunday puzzles for the crossword, just working on those a little bit. And then, that was a relatively light Monday, although there were some problems, so I had to do that. I had to fix some things. I've been actually busy all week at work since Monday, and so let's go into Monday night then. We had Monday Night Football. My mother-in-law actually, she did request the TV that night because she wanted to watch The Good Doctor, not my show. I'm not a fan. And so I went up to my bedroom and I streamed LetterQuest. Because it's nice and turn-based, so I could watch Monday Night Football, play a little LetterQuest. I had an achievement on my RTDL list for doing 1,500 words, and I think I started at 800, maybe closer to 1,000, in that range. And so I had, a decent amount to go. So I finished the story. I did a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I played a bunch of LetterQuest. Didn't finish it on Monday night, but I went ahead and finished it on Tuesday night. Of course, I wasn't watching Monday Night Football on Tuesday. I was instead watching Halloween Wars. You guys watch Halloween Wars at all? Do you have any idea what that is?
I've never even heard of it.
I think I know what it is, but I've never watched it. I'm assuming it's kind of like the Christmas lights thing, but
kind
Halloween?
of, yes. So it's more akin to, it's very much that, but it is more akin to the Cake Wars, where it's food based. And so what it is these teams of 3. And the teams are comprised of a cake artist, a candy artist, and a pumpkin artist. And so the 3 of them make a team, and then they have to create these scenes. One will be a small scare or a small, object, and then the other one would be a larger scale, frame or whatever. And so they do something like, for instance, the one was the boogeyman. The big thing was the boogeyman, and it was, okay, the boogeyman is pretty scary, but what would you say scares the boogeyman? And so these people went and they would grab their pumpkins and they'd start making cake things, and they'd have these big elaborate sculptures creating a scene of candy, pumpkin, and cake. It's all Halloween themed. One was Clowns versus Zombies was one that I watched. Anyway, it's super entertaining. Obviously, like good reality TV, the teams are highly dysfunctional. They fight all the time. It's great.
Naturally.
And so I was watching. It's fantastic, and I got my 1,500 words achievement that night. So
Nice.
It was a win-win for all. Then I went ahead. This was fun. Wednesday night, I played Turn On. I had 2 RTDL achievements in Turn On, and of course, Turn On is just such a wonderful achievement game.
Oh, it's
If
the
you have
best.
not played, it just feels so good because you're just being showered with achievements constantly. I think there are 82, 84. I think there are 84 achievements in the game, and it's like an 8-hour completion, I think, total, like 6 to 8 hours in that range. And so you're getting an achievement like every 4 minutes you play that. I mean, it's just constantly hitting you. And so I played. I had the 2 achievements I had. One was for beating a level in kind of the 5th world, like toward the end, one of those levels. And I was about halfway through the game. So I had to finish, maybe 12 levels or so. And then one was getting 3 stars or 3 lamps on one of the levels I had already beaten, but I didn't know that I had already beaten it. So I was just waiting till I found it on my way. I'll get back to that in a bit. So I was playing on, and doing the achievements. Some of them are getting three lamps in each level, and the other is for doing kind of random things, right? So, you turned on the fountain. Here's an achievement. Oh, you lit up the billboards. Here's an achievement. You collect. I ended up getting the cumulative collect 3,000 lightnings. Here you go. Here's an achievement. And I was kind of, while I was playing, I was like, man, like they really front load this because I'm not getting like as many achievements here on the back end. I wonder, boy, that's kind of obnoxious, but whatever. I'll just keep playing. And I got my RTDL achievement. I think I'm 1 level to the end. And I was like, where the hell is this other one that I haven't done yet? Oh, crap. Okay, it's back in the 2nd world. Let's go take a look. And I went there. And I said, okay, I need three lamps. Okay, this guy says it takes 100, and it's one of those. It was the one with the trolley, the out of control trolley, and it's those fast moving. I hate those fast moving 3 or 4 power lines that you have to jump up and down on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, those are just the worst. And so this one I had to go, and the beauty of it is as you go, if you are, just not quick on the, moving from line to line, you can sabotage yourself and drop to the ground, and you just restart at the checkpoint or the beginning of the level. As long as you don't hit all those red lightning bolts, your progress carries on. And so you can, if you miss a whole bunch of lightnings, you can just drop to the ground, start over back at the beginning, and go catch the ones that you missed. So you can kind of, if you knew where the checkpoints were, you can just continue to collect all those until the end of time. And so I did that, and I ended up like with 120, and when I finally finished it over, and I needed 100. So boom, light. There's my 3. This is great. Awesome. Okay. Where the hell's the achievement? What is going on? Okay, maybe I have to beat it like without dying. Maybe? Okay, I'll try that. So I played a whole bunch of times trying to beat it without dying, like get 100 straight through. Didn't work. What? Are you kidding me? What the hell is going on? Okay, I'll do it one more time, but then that's it. I'm gonna be pissed. Sure enough, I did it. Nothing. God, this is obnoxious. Okay, hold on. Look, it is clearly 3 lamps. What is happening? All right, I need to go to bed. It's already like 12:30. It is super late. I'm so frustrated. So I decided. So then that morning, I left my computer on because I was too flustered. I came down. I went to turn off my computer, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me go check the Xbox app and just see, what's going on. And I went in my computer, and I went to the Game Hub, and my phone and computer almost blew up. I got 14 achievements that just
wow.
Awesome. The backlog had just cleared out, and all of the levels that I had 3 lamped going through had finally come through the pipeline, and of course the RTDL one showed up. It was super fun to get that although I did go to bed frustrated. That sucked.
That's cool, though.
It was nice. It was nice. So I think I have like 9 achievements left in that game. A couple more 3 stars, and then just finishing the last 2 levels. So easy peasy. The other thing, and I got to talk about this. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Last game I mentioned I have 3 Dead Cells achievements in my RTDL. Dead Cells has probably climbed into my top 10 games of all time.
Wow.
I love this game. It is just awesome. It is so much fun. It is just amazing. And so I got one of my RTDL achievements on the first day. I think it was on Tuesday or whenever I played it. And I made 2 super deep runs in this game, which was so rewarding. And you get to these new worlds, and it's just like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. Like, the enemy design, I don't know what these are. They add these weird extra mechanics. The weapons are new and exciting and fun. Turns out I was one level away from getting my other RTDL achievement, which now it's like I'm itching even more to go back and finish it. But once you get these additional the Metroidvania part of it, where you're getting these permanent runes, the runes really help with traversal. And so I went and kind of I cheated a little bit and found out online how the hell to get these, because they have all these branching paths, and it's like, where's this ram rune that I keep missing? Like, I finally got the teleporter rune, but how do I? So I found the path to get there, and I went on a great run. I beat one of the bosses, and I went to this world called the Slumbering Sanctuary. And again, I don't know any of the mechanics that are in there, and the aesthetic of the world is like this blue cloud haze all over the place. And I'm walking around, and like these dudes are like invisible, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, where? I can't see any of these. What's going on here? And so all of a sudden they'll pop up, and I'll have to wail on them. It takes me about maybe 5 minutes, and I find this enemy. And he has one of those priest incense, dangling things on a chain, and all this blue smoke is coming out of it. And so I kill that guy, and sure enough, the smoke clears, and I can see everything. And then you go a little bit further in the level, and sure enough, there's another one of those enemies, and boom, the blue smoke comes, and he hides all the enemies from you, and it's like, you son of a gun. Like, man, this is such a hard mechanic. But it was so interesting, and I ended up dying in there just because I was not prepared for what was happening. But man, it was so cool. And then I played one this last time where I made it to the Forgotten Sepulchre. I can't even pronounce it. And it's this dungeon where there's like this, it's pitch black, and you have these like essentially torches. They're these freestanding torches. And I found out it's 12 seconds. If you are away from a light at 12 seconds, the clouds start to poison you, and it drains your life and stuff. So you have to like run from light to light, still fighting enemies, dodging, all this kind of stuff. This game is so amazing. I absolutely love it, and I can't stop playing it because it's so good.
I hear so much good stuff about that game.
Oh, it's just phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Man, you know what? We should talk about some other stuff, like because we've been going long on gaming. We got a bunch of news too. This week has been so jam-packed with stuff.
Yes.
Let's start with the Xbox itself. I signed in, and I'm like, what the hell did they do to my dashboard? It's all messed up again. Oh, it's update time. Of course there's an update, and they're gonna tweak all the things and make it run even better. You guys have got the update. What is the number one thing that stood out to you from the October update?
The first thing that I noticed is when I went into my games and apps, I could not find Ready to Install. I was looking all around for it, and it turns out now they have a My Games tab, and the Ready to Install tab is up at the top instead of at the left.
Weird.
I don't know why they did that.
That is bizarre. So, again, moving things for the sake of moving things.
Like, did anyone out there actually ask for that? Like,
Well,
fix it if it
so
ain't broke.
there's a theory of like, and if you go to your grocery store, and my Target did this just recently, where they move crap around on you because then you have to wander around and you end up finding other things that you don't need. So perhaps they're taking a page out of that book and saying, hey, if we like hide this tab from people, then maybe they'll go find some other stuff they didn't know was in here.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
And then the other thing, which I probably is the biggest thing, is avatars are here. New avatars.
Avatars! Are
And not the blue
they...
people.
Now, I haven't seen my avatar yet. I know this update brought avatars. Do they look like your old avatar did, only like better resolution and better features? Or is it totally blank and new and you have to create them from scratch? Do you guys know?
I have not checked yet. There was like a
Drew,
little
help me out, man. You
notification,
know.
but
No, I don't know.
didn't see it.
I don't know. I was just thinking when you were like, yay, avatars? I'm like, yay, it's 2007. Woohoo!
They're back.
Yay, everybody
Finally.
wanted this is a thing that's... I'm not... Whatever. It is fine. I don't know.
Okay, so-
I haven't opened the app or anything. What's the point now?
Well, where are they even? I haven't seen them yet.
That you have to go to the Xbox Avatar app.
Yes.
Okay.
And
What
that's...
do they do?
They wave at you when you open the app.
So I like my avatar as is. I mean, it'd be great if he was, a little fancier looking. But like, do you remember that when the Kinect first came out and they did that one of those technical tests where it was called the Xbox Live Labs? Did you guys ever do that?
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
2 out of 3 of them stupid achievements, and I can't get the third now.
Yeah, you literally just talked to your Kinect for like a couple hours. I mean, and it was actually it was pretty annoying. But they were just testing a bunch of things out, and they gave you avatar rewards for completing that. And so I got a lab coat, which is awesome because I'm a scientist, and so like I've just been wearing this lab coat the whole time. And I think I used to have that like weird Back to the Future brain scanner thing, the cage, that they put on your head. I think I was wearing that before. I don't think I have that on now. Maybe I still do, but so I want to know, is that like a high def lab coat now, or am I just going to be generic old Fream hole standing there doing nothing?
Well, here's the thing. You got your thing for free or whatever.
Yeah.
There's an even bigger problem. My avatar, my 360 avatar, is wearing a Starfleet uniform that I paid $3 for. Almost certainly, it will not be the case with the new avatars. The licensing, I'm sure, does not cover that. So all of the, and I don't know. I was never super big into it.
Yeah.
But there are certainly people that were, and all of that sort of stuff, I'm sure, doesn't carry over at least a good chunk of it because a lot of it's licensed stuff. Like
Sure.
I remember there was, jerseys for every sports team basically that you could buy for your avatar.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. I mean, they may have renewed it or they may have new versions. The stuff that you paid the money for back then almost certainly doesn't work now. So
Right.
and
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the thing was like back then, when the Microsoft was copying what Nintendo was doing with the whole Avatar stuff, it was put front and center. I mean, that was your public-facing persona on the Xbox. Now it's just something that's tucked away in this app. It's like you kind of have to wonder, and maybe I'm missing something, but what's the point of this? Does anyone care? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm watching Major Nelson's video here about avatars, and I saw he was going through the clothes. You can spend $4 on a piece of clothing for your avatar. That is obscene.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, there's some $2 ones, there's some $1 ones, but like I saw something for like $4 for like a ninja hat or something. Like that's ridiculous. And he also showed that you can pick between avatars if you want your original avatar or your new avatar. So I don't know if it doesn't sound like, I mean, Proulx, it sounds like you can keep your thing, but you don't get the high def looking avatar per se.
Yeah, and these new versions aren't going to be featured in any games or anything like that either. So, like, there was that 2 or 3 year period during the 360 life cycle that avatars were really a big thing. but why do this now? This feels.
Do they actually go out and say like, no, these will not be included in games, or you're just saying that?
Oh no! I assume no. Okay. That's entirely me just assuming.
Okay,
but I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, what game is going to put avatars in there?
Well, I just liked when you were playing Doritos Crash Course and you just had your dude running a platformer. Like, you could totally do that. That's
kind of my point. Like, that was Microsoft spearheading that. Microsoft fronted the money for Crash Course.
I thought Doritos did.
Well,
I thought it was Doritos contest.
Yes, well, Doritos did, right. But what I'm saying is Microsoft was encouraging developers at the time to
use their system.
Which is why Calflings does, and a whole bunch of other games like that.
Home Run All-Stars, every Kinect game pretty much had avatars.
And that was a forefront of Microsoft's strategy at the time. That's not the case now. I'm sure they're not going to spend that many resources on it at this point. It's already so late in Xbox One life cycle that, again, this feels so pointless to me. I don't know.
I bet if a developer asked, like, hey, for a character creator, we'd like actually just to import your avatars. Microsoft, would you be interested? I'm sure they would say,
of course. Sure. Of course they're going to not. They're not going to have a problem with people doing it, but it's not like anybody's going to be tripping over the aisles to volunteer themselves for that. There's no reason for that. It doesn't.
No. The only thing I would think of is it would be, you would save a ton of development time if you could just import, the customization from that standpoint. But on the flip side of that, you lose out on a significant monetization stream.
Yeah.
Where you can sell your own tank tops and, goofy trucker hats or whatever. Well, yeah,
exactly. Imagine something like Fortnite. Being like, oh, you can use your Xbox avatars.
That would be cool.
They would lose half their revenue stream. Right. They would never do that. There's no reason to do that. So it's like Sony.
I mean, unless it fed into it, and it was like, but I don't think Microsoft would let that fly.
Yeah,
like, hey, you could buy your in-game, State of Decay in-game gear and export it to your avatar. I don't think they would let that go.
This feels like a vestigial limb of the last generation, and I have no idea why we're still holding on to it. It's like Sony coming out tomorrow and being like, you guys remember Home and how awesome that was? Well, we're doing Home 2.0. You guys buckle in. Like, It's not.
I hope you like kiddie porn.
It's not a thing that anybody even cares about anymore. So why?
Well, the pedophile community loves it. Oh, Sony. Hey, at least you can change your name now.
They probably...
Well, not yet. Don't say now.
Oh, okay.
It has not been official. It's just been announced.
It's coming.
Sure.
The other thing is, probably the big thing was Xbox integration with Alexa. Cortana and Alexa are hooking up.
Meh.
And so you, Cortana, and Alexa, Devil's Triangle. That's how that works, right?
That's a drinking game, Fream.
Am I using that phrase right?
Unfortunately for me, my Alexa is in the bedroom and my Xbox is in the living room.
Yeah.
If they released a Google Home extension,
right,
that'd be even better because that's right next to my Xbox. So.
Why not bring the Alexa out into the living room?
No, we don't need two of them out there. That's entirely personal. That's just the way my house is set up. But.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, let's continue the Microsoft train and talk about the rampant rumors flying that they are closing in on buying Obsidian. The makers, the RPG makers, probably most notably for Fallout New Vegas, although they've got some other things out there too. But according to Kotaku's Jason Schreier, he is saying that they're about 90% done, according to one source, and that it's a matter of when, not if.
That's so.
That's
awesome.
Kind of exciting, right? You guys
great.
pumped about that?
The Xbox needs RPGs. That's fantastic. If we could get a couple of, especially if they manage to be exclusive RPGs, oh man, that'd be great for the console war.
I'm curious what Obsidian IPs they actually own, like what you would get, because you wouldn't be able to like exclusively have South Park stuff, right? They did the Stick of Truth. It's like, well, you don't get South Park. That's not an IP they own per se. But the Pillars of Eternity, that's an exciting IP. And then, they did Fallout New Vegas, but of course, Fallout is a Bethesda thing, so that's off the table. Dungeon Siege, that's theirs, right? Alpha Protocol is on their list.
Yeah.
Those are just some of the games with achievements on it. They go way back though. There's a ton of other Obsidian things that they've worked on.
I think I saw that they would. I don't know if they own it or maybe they just did some work with Neverwinter, the MMO. I looked up Obsidian games the other day when I saw this article, just out of curiosity, and I said, I saw Neverwinter. So, is that on the PlayStation? Could that become an exclusive if it actually is them?
I'd be curious.
That'd be cool.
Certainly, I would imagine that they would be focusing on exclusive Xbox RPGs. That's pretty much where their wheelhouse is. They did do, looks like, a Neverwinter Nights 2, which, that was back in 2006, so that's pretty old.
Maybe it's not the MMO. I don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
The only games I've played from Obsidian was KOTOR 2.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Which was a buggy mess, but a very good game. Fallout New Vegas, which was a buggy mess, and in my opinion, which is unpopular, not a very good game. And what was the? Oh, wait, no, I guess that was it. It's Stick of Truth. I played Stick of Truth, which is actually not a buggy mess and quite a good game as well. So yeah, I think in this case they're not buying it for the IPs. They're not buying. I think it's more of the potential.
Yeah.
Obsidian, they do have a pretty great track record in terms of games in the game industry. People love them. People love their style of games, and so I think it's more of a talent get than anything.
And I think they're the right size. They're a bigger studio, so they can handle a little bit of a bigger, a game, a concept. That they're not spread so thin, or they're high on talent but really small, that they actually have a sizable talent and some ability to mobilize that talent within to focus on some bigger titles that Xbox sorely needs, especially from an RPG standpoint. And that Pillars of Eternity that's getting some really great reviews. It's maybe not my style of RPG per se, but the people who love that more classic RPG style just say, like, if you like kind of your classic RPGs, that's the game to be on. The branching dialogues, the character interactions, the growth, the story, like, in and of itself is amazing. And
that's the turn-based one, right?
Yeah,
I've seen that. I really enjoy those type of games, and I remember looking at videos or gameplay or something. It's been a while now since I've seen it, and it looks good to me. Throw it out on the Xbox. I'm in.
So
absolutely,
you heard it here first, folks. Fable 4 by Obsidian coming in 2021.
Please do that.
It's entirely possible. Other IPs or games that are getting shifted around. This was huge news at the beginning of the week. Robert Kirkman's Skybound Studios, or Skybound Games, is taking over Telltale's The Walking Dead: The Final Season. That there was a deal in place with which Robert Kirkman, of course, who created The Walking Dead, the comics, and turned into the show and turned into everything else. He has a games division in Skybound Entertainment that said, here's the tweet: "We are so happy to announce that we've reached a deal with Telltale Games that will allow Skybound to continue The Walking Dead: The Final Season. Let's wrap up Clem's story right. More details to come soon." So I'm not quite sure. I mean, again, I don't believe any of those other details have come out since as of this recording here. I'd be curious if they're going to try and pull some developers who worked on the game and have like a separate studio, or because Telltale just laid off couple hundred people. Like, are they going to pull some of those people on to help the continuity, or are they going to just?
I hope so.
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work and how they're going to get the assets, and are the assets tied up in bankruptcy? And so, like, you got chapters 1, 2, or 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 are going to come like 2 years down the road. Like, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, but it's great to hear that we actually get closure to the story. Like, I do very much appreciate that. It sucks that Telltale had to lose all these people, but the selfish bastard in me is like, hey, I get my game, so.
I was just about to say, you guys are big Walking Dead fans, aren't you?
I am. I don't think Proulx is.
I like the games, but that's all I'm
Yeah,
of.
that's more or less what I meant. I know you're a big zombie fan, but can't do scary things.
Right.
This is exciting, though. It really is, because
it's fantastic.
it's great news. Yeah, it's coming. It's like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, right? It's a terrible situation to start with, but hopefully we can get at least some resolution out of this.
I wonder if Robert Kirkman feels like kind of happy to get it back, like this concept that he spawned and created, like, because it sounds like the show isn't done yet, but I mean, they just launched season 9 here, and or 9, right? Yeah, and the ratings were bad. They were not like the lowest. They're still high, but they're the lowest they've been. They've been continually declining. And Andrew Lincoln is going to be off the show. Like, there's a bunch of people who are leaving the show. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, listen, a decade worth of Walking Dead TV. I think people might be getting a little tired of it. So it's time
Zombie craze is done.
Right, have these characters move on. It's getting stale, and so, like, is he kind of like happy that he got this to come back, and could this turn into a show? Could he kick this Clem story? I don't know. I guess I don't know how this is going to end. I guess I do know how it's going to end. if Clem, if it's not like a repeat of the first season, I would be shocked.
Yeah, it's going to be a repeat of exactly the first season. Yeah.
I would be shocked.
It's interesting, man. It's really interesting to me because if there wasn't already somebody documenting everything that's going on, like they have those director's commentary or the behind the scenes sort of people that they release these special episodes online of just documenting the development process of this situation right now. If they didn't already have one, somebody should get on that right now and just to document the process of the transition, what's going to change, because it's going to be a little different at the very least.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm really wondering how the very end of this series is going to be impacted, because I'm sure Telltale had an idea, and it's probably so far along that it can't be dramatically altered, but I'm sure they're going to put their own spin and twist and flavor on it. And I'd love to get the storyboards and the ideas of where they were going originally and what's changing now that it's changing hands. It's very early for that sort of thing, but I'd really like to see that.
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
Someone call up Greg Miller. He'll do it. He'll embed in what's going on. Because didn't he do that giant expose or background thing on Bethesda, and followed them around and helped with the Fallout 76 launch and stuff. So he's got a Patreon out there. We'll get Game Over Greggy, and he can tell us the story. He can document it for us.
So I'm curious on one thing. Have you guys? I don't recognize Skybound, I should say. I feel like I should know that. Like, I kind of recognize the name. Is that a good place for this to go to? I mean, I don't know.
Skybound Games. Well, let's look them up, because they sound very familiar to me, but I couldn't possibly tell you what they worked on. So let's find out. How shall we? Because Skybound Entertainment does
done
what?
Slime Rancher, Fream, which you just mentioned.
That's why it's so familiar.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why. My nephew plays that game, so maybe that's how I kind of recognize it.
Of course, this is a terrible time for my computer to crap the bed.
They
so
also did The Long Dark as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more. That's it?
That-
They did some mobile stuff.
That's it on Wikipedia. That's all I
Yeah.
can find.
I played this Walking Dead handheld games, Road to Survival. Did not care for it. It was kind of lame. Interesting.
So that'll be interesting to see what they do with this humongous franchise at this point and be able to close it out.
Yeah, I don't envy their task because
No, not at all.
we're right at the end. There's all this pressure. But on the other hand, I think we're so far along in the process. It feels like most of this stuff is already. I mean, for all we know, everything could be recorded by now. Like all the lines could be done. It really depends on what part of the process they're in and how much they're willing to invest and how much they want to change.
Sure.
If they want to just be stewards of it and just get it out the door, it may be cheap and easy to do that. Quote unquote, relatively cheap and easy.
Yeah, right. They have to kind of piece it together.
Right.
Yeah, but if they want to, if they see it and they're like, oh, well, we can do something better, we'll see. It's just kind of an unprecedented sort of situation, and that's why I'd really love to, 5 years from now, I'd love to watch the documentary on what happened to Walking Dead when, it switched.
Did you watch the show at all? The Walking Dead, even early, what was it? I think season 2. There's a character named Herschel, older guy, doctor.
I've seen the first season.
I think he was in the second season. I don't know if he was in the first. Anyway, Herschel, he was the farm owner that they met. The actual actor, the human being, passed away this last week. So that was disappointing too.
That's sad.
I mean, he's been off the show for quite some time, but I actually watched that one. I think I'm in season 6, so it's been 4 years since he's been off the show, at least. But no, it was sad. He passed away this week too. So I saw that on Twitter. That was a bummer. We should talk about some other happier things. Well, I guess I don't know if it's happy or not. I'm confused about the whole thing. TA just sent out a site-wide announcement that they are partnering with VonCoin. Okay, so VonCoin is a cryptocurrency through Von Bismarck Labs that is a crypto coin that is rewarding Xbox achievement hunters for their unlocks. So they're going to come out with a beta system here. But the idea is that it's based on the true achievement score, not the gamer score, but the true achievement score. So rarity will count, quote-unquote rarity, will count. And obviously you'll earn more for whatever. And the idea then is that you would generate this cryptocurrency and be able to use this toward games and things that you like in that world. In the comment section, the actual guy, the Von Rader, the guy who runs Bismarck Labs, actually he had some answers to some people's questions and stuff. And apparently Xbox is on board on board with this. They're okay with it. I don't know how, but they said they're on board with it. The Von coins will be Ethereum-based utility tokens, will not be tradable for any fiat currencies, so their only value is what you can exchange them on the Von coin platform. The private beta will not. He talks about details from that. You can spend the coins in auctions on the Von coin app when that launches in the beginning of the year. Let's see what else. The products you will bid for with your Von coins will be provided by sponsors. Our pitch to the sponsors is simple. We have a bunch of committed gamers who prove that they love playing video games, so why not build awareness of your product, game, or app by providing this audience with real products they value. In return, you get promoted for your new release to the audience. So his idea is saying, listen, developer, why don't you offer some codes to this game, and the people in our system here who love gaming can use their coins to buy copies of your games that you're donating to us, and then they'll stream it, and they'll promote it, and they'll talk about it, and earn achievements in it, and come back to it. I don't know a great deal about cryptocurrency. I feel like this is something we need to talk to Randy about. Do you guys know what the hell's going on here? Because I'm super confused.
Take it away, Pro. I don't know much. I just know I signed up for the beta. That's about it.
Yeah, this is really weird and shady to me.
Super weird.
Extremely. I don't know how it's going to work.
I mean, the cryptocurrency is the least interesting part of this story to me for a lot of reasons. So first of all, I want to just comment on the fact that Von Rader, the guy that apparently is running this whole situation, the person that is going to use this platform specifically aimed toward achievement hunters, only has 12,000 achievement points. 12,000 gamer score, man. What the hell? Come on now.
Wow, he's such a business savant. He can't.
Yeah.
He's so busy wheeling and dealing. He can't play games.
This is weird. This is really a weird situation. I don't know. I'm of two minds. I did sign up, but only because the only requested information at the time was for your gamer tag and your email address.
My thoughts exactly.
And the country you live in.
Which, yeah. At least for me, all of that information is very publicly available. So that's that's no problem for me. As soon as they ask me to download an app and sign in, I absolutely will not do that right away. This is so weird. This is such a weird, specific situation. I don't know. It just feels off to me.
I'm kind of in the same boat that you're in, and so I'm teetering on this scale. And so the one part of me is saying like, okay, listen, I don't really know what's going on with cryptocurrency. I do know that you need computers to quote unquote mine, and you work. And in my head, that sounds like, can you just offload, like as a company, I want to offload my computing needs to you, so you pay for the electricity to run all these programs for me, and then I can offload some of this demand on my servers. And so while you do that, I will reward you with cryptocurrency. So like that in my head, that's like, okay, so am I leasing out kind of the guts of my computer so that you can just run whatever crap you want in the background of your app? I don't like that. The other side of me says, okay, well, there's tons of these kind of things around here, like those, like FanDuel or there's a Pick Points app or something where you would sign onto the app and you would, you could win. It was a sporting thing, but you would say, okay, you'd be watching your games, your sports, and then if you accumulated enough points by picking the right scores or picking the right rushing totals or whatever it was, depending on how early you locked in, the higher the points you got. And as your points accumulated, you can then trade those points in for gift cards. And I ended up getting like a couple $100 out of Best Buy on that because they donated gift cards to that. And I think the idea was, if you're using the app, there were ads. You had ad revenue. And then with the ad revenue, they purchased these gift cards to entice people to spend time in the app. And so, is this app that we're going to download, is it going to be ad supported? Is it going to be like, how is Von Miller here, or whatever his name is, Von Buren, Von Rader, how is he going to be making money? That's what I want to know. What is his business model here?
I mean, I don't know. I am so lost. I don't know how to do it. I mean,
you don't know how to do it. You just like sheep. You just jumped in whole hog.
I mean,
dived in face first into the shallow end of the pool.
I mean, we technically don't get much for achievements as is, except a nice little number on our gamer card. And I'm sitting at 160,000 TA. If I can trade that in for Red Dead Redemption, doing it. Like, do I sign up when this launches? I get 160,000 Von points or Von point,
whatever that means,
whatever they're worth.
Yeah.
If I can if I could trade them in for, I don't know, anything, I'd probably do it. I mean, it's more than what I'm getting now. Now it's just for fun, essentially.
Especially if you're trading all your Vaughn points for the one time you'll ever even be on the platform. Of course you're going to do it. Like you're not actually losing those points anyways. They're still going to be like, it's not like Microsoft is going to take that away from you. You're still going to have those points.
Yeah.
You're just I get that. The thing is, like, first of all, the point that you mentioned, Freem, about him saying, what his first bullet point in his response was, we have spoken to people at Xbox about this initiative and have their blessing. Okay. Can we hear from Microsoft?
That's a very good point.
Trust him. He's got a monkey avatar. Like, clearly. I gotta be honest, I don't necessarily trust TA to have the most discriminate ad policy. Like, they pushed this out and like literally pushed this out to us, and I don't know, this doesn't feel like it's been properly vetted to me. It just really feels like we're walking on wet cardboard. This is super shady. It just is so nothing. Nobody's ever heard of this before. This is just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, this will be great. Get your Vaughn coins here, folks. Get your Vaughn coins. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. It's so weird. It's so strange to me.
Now, were these a thing like before TA told us about? Like, I know you had Bitcoin, Ether, and a couple others. I don't know. I don't crypto. I don't do any of that, so I don't really know. Was this a thing before this, or is some guy just kind of create this, 5 minutes ago and get rich to sign off on it?
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know. I guess they have an app, so they must have been around for a while. They could have been around. Well, I don't know.
I'm so interested. I don't trust it at all. They're not getting any more information out of it than what they have. But I'm so interested in this.
You say that, but you get the app and they're like, allow app to access computer files. Okay, whatever.
There ain't no way I'm signing into that on my computer.
Just saying. I may have a work computer, so.
So the first Google search for Vaughn coin Xbox, the first search is the True Achievements article.
Right.
That's it. There is nothing else that matches. The rest of it is Xbox Live related stuff. That is it. I don't know if this guy. I don't know.
So, I mean, I'm reading more of his comments because he's in the comment section answering people. Because one of the things is like, Fu, you just said I got 160 TA. Well, so one guy's like, I have 688,000. I hope that I feel like that's going to get me whatever. And Von Rader responded saying, well, your accumulation starts when you download the app.
Of course it does.
So everybody starts at 0, although he did say there would be a one-time exchange of your existing TA at a highly reduced rate so that, it would convert to something significantly less, but you would get credit for all your past glory, but it's for what you are going to be doing moving forward.
This just sounds like the rich gets richer. Smirnov, Stallion, and Redemption are just going to buy up everything, and we're not going to get anything.
I mean,
we'll be able to get codes for like Toro.
Well, they don't have it. They don't have much to still be able to play new games and stuff. I mean, I always think like I look at. Are you guys familiar with Qubits at all or whatever? I think that's one of those where it's a popcorn auction bidding site, and
yes.
they all their ads say like, oh my god, I've got this laptop for $45.
Yeah,
and I got this, Rolls Royce for $200. That's not true, but you know what I'm saying. They say dirt cheap. Well, the reason it's dirt cheap is because every time you make a bid, you lose that coin. So you say I'm going to throw in one token, and then the other guy's, well, I'll do 2 tokens, and I'll do this token, and I'm going to increase my bet here. And so that's like pulling out of your kit. They'll take, like every time you play poker at a casino, that the house is going to take 10% or whatever it is. They're going to slide that money over to the house, and then you deal with what's on the table. And so that's kind of what this is like, hey, you get all these Von coins for your TA score that you got. And so, yeah, like here's 200 Von coins. Bidding on Red Dead Redemption 2 starts at 2 Von coins. Okay, I'm going to do 3. I'll do 4. I'll do this. And then you do the popcorn bidding until last man standing, and they get the code for Red Dead Redemption 2. And you're stuck with whatever, either your remaining coins or there's a fee for bidding or whatever. I don't know how that's going to work out, but that's how I anticipate the store to work. It might even just be flat fee. Like, hey, once you get 200 Von coins, you can exchange them for a game code or something. I don't know.
So the Von coin Twitter signed up as of September 2018. So
that is so sketchy.
It's
so
really
sketchy.
weird. Really, 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 really weird situation.
Well, here's the other thing. And because Sasha Morning posted this, and I'm sure it happened before, but this was a comment that I kind of liked. He says, looks like it's time to start that new tag with all of my current knowledge of unlocking achievements. Ratio or not, quantity would seem to matter. So this is where Von
really.
XX Von Coin 69XX comes in, and I get to do Avatar again. I get to do all of the Abzu, every easy game I can think of, and just rake in the Von coin on my alt tag.
That is very true.
And then you can have a separate email address that's completely unrelated to your existing one.
Yeah, really, like I don't want to say this because I don't know that it's the case, but the fact that you have to download an app would make me think that it is some sort of crowd mining going on here. And
that or it's ad supported, but I don't think they can sell enough ads to cover.
Well, it's tough to sell ads when your company is 2 months old. I will say that.
And you're marketing to such a niche part of the gaming community.
And you're already, your market is already so tiny. So this feels more like a trick to get a lot of people to download your software very quickly than anything. Now, it may not be the case. We don't know. Let's just be fair. But the way this is being presented is weird and shady at best.
Yeah.
So, like, I would love to know the fact that it was pushed out to everybody on TA. I would love to know that decision process. To know who thought that was a good idea. Was there money that was exchanged? What happened there? That essentially they just pushed out an ad to us.
Yeah, I don't know.
And not just an ad, like not like a Nike ad or a McDonald's ad. An ad from some company nobody's ever heard of that wants you to give up some modicum of information, at the very least.
So here, the Globalizer has a good comment of saying, I appreciate the level of detail in that what he put out there. Do you have a privacy policy that I could take a look at?
Yeah, really.
And do you collect identifying personal data? And if so, do you share it with sponsors and advertisers? Any third-party data collectors involved in your model? I'm intrigued by this approach. As a privacy lawyer, I'm very attuned toward alternatives to the current ad tech collect, mine, sell data models. This seems similar to the Brave BAT model, but that is a private by design token system. Curious how much privacy is built into this, as it's a pet issue for me, naturally. So if Globalizer's in, I'm in. If this privacy lawyer says that it's okay, then I'm on board. So,
So stay tuned.
Von Bismarck, Egon von Bismarck. If you get him on board, let me know, and I'll sign up.
I think I just do what Sasha said and just, create a new tag, create a new email. If you want to have that, have at it. Who cares? I'll get an old phone or an old iPod Touch, and I'll download the software on that so it's not on any of my actual devices.
Yeah. Yeah, at the very, like I said, if you're okay with your email address being linked to your Xbox tag, which is kind of pretty public information, generally speaking, That's fine. That's one thing. I would definitely say hold off on downloading any apps until we get some clarification or some reputation is built up here, because we're on shaky ground here, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens in 6 months' time.
So if you are familiar with the Brave BAT model, Von Rader says it is very similar to that. And the only data we share is with sponsors and merchants, is that the data required to ship you a product when you win an auction. So, you need a mailing address if you are getting a product from the sponsor. Von coins are ways to verify users' time to sponsors without having to share private data, is what Von Rader said. And it sounds like the sponsor is paying for shipping, although I don't believe that is covered yet. I don't know. I'm just really interested in where this goes.
Skepticism is healthy, my friends. Be very careful.
Because again, reading this comment thread is great, but one of the things is that Spanky and Spronkle just said, he's like, why is there so much negativity here? Oh yeah, it's the internet. But anyway, the crux of his point was, for so long, people have said, I wish I could trade in my gamer score for money. Like, I've heard that over and over. Like, would you do it? At what point would you do it? If and they'd have all these things about, like, if you could just change this into money at some point. This is as close as you're going to get. So if that notion at least intrigues you, then you might want to follow this thread and just see where it goes. But you got to remember,
you're not actually trading in anything, and that's the biggest problem here. What are you giving? What a value are you giving to get something?
Yeah.
If you get Red Dead Redemption 2 out of these Von coins, well, somebody somewhere got something worth $60 at least out of you.
Oh, hold on. Here's the thing. Here we go. He said, for all the creative gamers with quote-unquote split personalities, I'm afraid we are limiting the accounts to one per Xbox. So I'm afraid you will need to register with your main account, as you will not be able to have 2 accounts or more registered to the same Xbox. Well, I have 2 Xboxes, so...
How does that work?
Is it okay, so it's an Xbox app.
Yeah, sounds like.
Interesting.
Sounds like it gets downloaded onto your home Xbox. I wonder if that would be an issue with game sharing.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, I would think it would be.
Hey,
interesting.
I am just...
Now, with that, I'm really intrigued, because before, with what Xbox said, it's like, hey, can we do this? They said, yeah, sure, go for it. But if this is like an Xbox app and it needs to know your home console, does that mean Microsoft is actually on board with this? Or, I don't know what it takes to get that kind of, get an app on the Xbox, but...
My prediction, 6 months from now, if they do end up getting certified, we're gonna read all sorts of stories about Von Trapp being delisted and banned from the Xbox marketplace. I just, for some reason, I just see that happening.
Oh, well, here's the interesting postscript to that Pick Points app that I got all those Best Buy things from. It went bankrupt after about 18 months.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. No big deal.
So what you're saying is I jump on board right away.
I came in, yeah, right, exactly. I came in, got $200 for very little work, and they lost all their money. So I'm sorry for them, and their model didn't work. I'm sure it was great. I got what I wanted. So see ya, man. Hey guys, keep in tune. This is going to be a very interesting thing to follow. And I think with that, that's about it for the show. You guys have anything else you want to add? We're just going to end on this big, cloudy, confusing Bitcoin mining mess here, of which we have very little information. Maybe at some point, there is a plan to get Randy on the show one more time. We'll see if we can get that to come to fruition. Maybe he understands what's going on here, if he knows the Brave BAT model. And I'm just reading it because they wrote BAT in caps. It's probably BAT. It's probably the Brave BAT, and I just, am overly
Well, hang on, Fream. You say that
confusing it.
we're planning on having Randy on. Would you definitely say then the forecast is calling for some rain?
Oh, it's been rainy all week here. It sucks. It's been awful.
That's been the country these past few months.
I suppose there is a hurricane around.
It's around.
A couple of them.
Couple of them. So yeah, there is that. Anyway, awesome. Well, hey, Fufu, it's been great talking to you, having you on. Why don't you go ahead and pitch that podcast of yours one more time, in case anybody, like you said, misses the Z to Z podcast and is just interested in getting their achievement fix elsewhere. At least one other option that's available to them.
Yeah, like I said, our podcast is Achievement Hunting 101. We're on iTunes and Libsyn right now. That's about it. We're working on getting into SoundCloud, Spotify, and all that other stuff, but just haven't gotten it there yet.
Takes time.
It does. A lot of community that's been in Z to Z is over in ours, and I know we have a bunch of cross between our listeners. But yeah, similar to it here, a couple of people get together, talk achievements, talk games, talk news, confusing news like this sometimes.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoy achievements, please check us out. We're still new. Last night we just recorded level 12. We call our episodes levels,
which is clever. I like it.
Thank you. But yeah, we're, like I said, we're still new, still working out the kinks.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. It'll get there.
We're not quite as polished as Z to Z yet.
Well, 150 episodes. It's you just kind of figure some things out.
We're
over
old
time.
men.
It sucks, you guys.
Old. So old. Oh man, and these old bones have to get up and work out in the morning. That'll be a real treat.
4 a.m.
Awesome. Well, Fufu, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks for taking part on our send off farewell tour.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thanks to you as well. You guys got anything fun planned this upcoming week? Proulx, are you still in the UHH just for fun? Are you gonna do that another week?
Yeah. I'll try to stay in ish, but I think I'll just use it as an excuse to play the fun stuff. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, and I'll probably finish out Quantum Break this week as well.
You going for the completion?
Oh yeah, totally.
Good for you. The final boss. I don't know if you know anything about it. Have you heard anything?
No. Is it bad?
It's obnoxious.
So
people are really frustrated because they feel like all of the things that you learned in the game do not prepare you for the final boss.
That's what I've heard.
I disagree. I think the Dan boss was challenging and semi frustrating, but I don't think it was as like what the hell's going on as people led on. So just understand it. It is a little tricky.
Did you beat it on hard?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll be fine then.
One playthrough on hard. Come on. I'm kind of a big deal. MLG in the house.
If you've done it free, Mom, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you say that. I can't wait to hear you struggle this week. Awesome.
Hey,
Fufu,
I did beat 60-second shooter Prime. Just saying.
Good for you. Good for you. Fufu, what are you going to work on this week? 2
games that come to mind is one, more Forza Horizon. I'm actually probably going to go play that once we are done here. And I hope I can announce this, but we got a code for Nickelodeon kart racers.
Kart racing.
I think you'll be okay.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I was thinking about my kids would be super into that.
I have it downloading now, and I'm probably going to be trying it out this week. I'm excited. I start with saying I don't like racing games, and here my entire week I'm planning on playing racing games. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I hope I can announce. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that.
You'll be fine. Nobody listens to this show anymore anyway.
No.
And myself, I can't. I know I'm going to be playing Dead Cells, man. If you have not played that game, you totally should get it. It's by the time this comes out, I believe the sale will be ending this evening. It was on sale like 25% off or something. $20. Oh my god, so much gameplay for $20. It's so good, so good. And with that, it's time to get out of here. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to give us a little listen, a little some time in your ear hole. It was great. Hopefully you enjoyed what we put together for you. You can do whatever you want. We are on Apple Podcasts. If you want to rate and review us, go nuts. But it's like I said, we're done at 150. That's what's going to end up happening. So, but we're not done on the forums. So if you haven't been over to forum.z2z.com, you totally should go over there. We run contests, achievement-related contests, which are super fun. And I'll just end it at that. So thank you again, everybody, on behalf of FufuCuddilyPoof, Proulx. I have been Brandon, and to all of you achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies out there, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next episode.
See you guys.
Later.